all these progressions, it took years of cartoons and movies for it to happen, and they just did it all in one movie. It retcons the movie. And do you know what that phrase means?
No, retcon. No, I don't.
So this was your first experience watching an anime?
Well, I've seen some anime, but nothing that was GP. It's that face. Everybody has that face. Like it seems like the same face that I've been seeing since Speed Racer.
Hello, this is The Real Generation Gap. My name is Shane Schildmeyer.
I am Fred Satilli.
And today we're reviewing Digimon Adventure 02, The Beginning.
If it's the beginning, why is it 02?
Digimon, there was an original movie that came out when I was younger. This is one of my favorite movies, and it's a lot better than this movie. Let me start with that. The 02 represents, there's a second season. It's based on a show. So season 1, this is 02. Season 2, it's based on the season 2 characters. So that's 02.
What happened to the 01 characters?
Okay, so they did reference them in this movie. I don't know if you saw the scene where they're on the stairs and there's like a little kid and a little girl going up the stairs. That's from the 01 characters. It retcons the movie. And do you know what that phrase means?
No, retcon. No, I don't.
So I hated this movie because it retcons the first season, the first movie.
Retcon?
Yeah, so that's a phrase. It's used, I've heard it more, amongst nerds talking about comic books and stuff like that. Let's say we're 8 seasons in a show and we come out with the movie now. And this movie basically reestablishes the whole world so that the previous seasons don't mean anything. It takes, information from before and it ignores it or it changes it. It just ruins the storyline thus far. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to do it, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically what this movie did.
But I didn't comprehend any of this. I didn't see any of the beginning.
Yeah.
So if this was like a whole new bag?
When I was watching this, I was like, there's no way Fred knows what's going on. Because they gave no exposition. They didn't explain anything to someone. If you were just getting into Digimon today, and this is the first thing you turned on, you'd be like, what is going on?
This is what happened. You're absolutely right. I had no idea what was going on. Basically, by the end of the movie, I realized it was a little kid who his mother didn't love him, and he wanted everybody to be friends in person, not on the phone. Like that was like the final thing. Like we have to actually talk to each other and not do this. But after the movie, a gentleman, he explained to me that Digimon meant digital monster.
Yes.
And I had no idea. And everybody had this little ashtray, and that was the thing where the little monster, and each person had
an ashtray.
That's what it looked like.
It was a little digivice, yeah.
It's a digibox, right? Like the one I have at home.
Yeah.
And
I actually have one at home, and I tried so hard to find it, and I couldn't find it. But anyways, continue.
Why didn't you have your Digimon tell you where it was? So each person has one of these monsters, and they're somehow your friend.
Yep.
They're sort of like a spiritual guide.
Companion.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sort of like that. So at least I understood that much.
Yes.
Now, why this would be in our society, where they... And in the beginning, there was a giant egg floating over the city, and everybody was like, that's the Digi-egg, but it didn't have anything to do with the story.
It did. So the Digi-egg...
You're a better man than I.
The Digi-egg was Louis' Digimon.
It totally doesn't matter.
The little white ones... remember he kept trying to make like I want to just make you happy, whatever that means.
He climbed up in there. He was trying to get in there. And
so basically, in the future, he comes back as the giant egg, trying to give everyone a Digimon to make this guy happy. But it was so it really just ruined the first season. Because the whole purpose of this movie was saying like, oh, Digidestin, the kids with the Digimon, exists because of this one Digimon. He made them all.
Shane, what's the original premise? Why does this exist? Is there like an alien invasion?
No. So the original premise is like the internet came around.
Okay.
The internet came around, and then they found out that there was this parallel universe, a digital universe. And with these Digivices, the kids got sucked in, and then
into the metaverse.
Into their Digiverse, yeah. They have to help free the Digimon there, and then they come back to the real world. And they're able to communicate with their Digimon with the Digivice. It's very important.
But what if we just shut all those things off and just disregarded the whole thing?
Exactly. So in the first movie, the evil Digimon starts taking over the internet and affecting the real world. It makes a lot more sense in this movie.
Oh, so it's a little like a Keanu Reeves movie thing. Like the red pill, you know.
No, not necessarily. I really want you to watch it because it has it's a lot better than this one. It's a lot better than this one. So this one retcons it by saying the Digivices don't matter. All the stuff from the previous movies don't matter because this guy wished that everyone had a Digimon and that's why they exist. And that's not originally how it was told.
Listen to this part of the story. He somehow goes back in time.
Yeah.
He sees himself and his mom. His mom is being called.
Yeah, that was
and he
so
goes
dumb.
to the mom and says, "Look, you got to take better care
Yeah.
of Louis."
Yeah.
The kid's name is Louis. It's a Japanese Japanimation. We have people named like Taquan now, but this is Louis.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it was an Italian movie, Louis, I get it. Say something good and positive about it. I mean, it was had
The
a
best thing I liked about it was that it was pretty dark. For like an animated cartoon movie, it was pretty dark. Like when the kid's like mom totally neglects him.
I thought it was a drag. I mean, it was really like...
His like eye was all bloody and stuff. I'm not used to seeing that in cartoons, so I thought that was cool.
Okay.
But honestly, I have nothing positive to say about it. I hated it. After the movie, I was like pissed off, and I was there with all the nerds, and like some of them were like, "Oh, it was so good." And I'm like, "You're dumb. Shut up. This ruined my favorite movie."
the characters, they look like Speed Racer from the 60s.
I don't
with the powerful Mach 5?
see that, but I get what you're saying.
That was the same, like the big giant eyes and the nose was just one line
anime.
and like a tiny mouth, like with
So
no
this
teeth.
was your first experience watching an anime?
Well, I've seen some anime, but nothing that was GP. Yeah, look at we had this in the 60s.
I mean,
this is
it's
like Johnny
animation.
Quest was better than this.
What would you expect to be different? It's a cartoon.
I know, but some kind of evolution of quality. Like
What
these are
do you
really
expect to change? It's a cartoon. What quality?
I didn't have any expectations. This is not my world.
Yeah.
I don't have expectations. I wanted something to be.
You're commenting on you thought it would be better animation, but like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm not an animation creator.
Yeah.
So I don't have like a what I mean. I just wanted to be more impressed. I didn't want it to be this like block. This is like one step above South Park. You know what I mean?
would say that's not even relatively true, but regardless, it's a cartoon. So I'm like, what did you expect? Did you expect it to be 3D? Like when you're saying you expected more, you know what I'm saying? Like what did you expect?
All of the artwork was really, you know what it was like when people make a picture by cutting shapes out of construction paper that are all different colors and they just put them on a board and
but that's what a cartoon is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll concede. I'm not the boss here. I just was like, I thought it wouldn't be so simple.
Okay.
You know, I grew up with Johnny Quest and Speed Racer.
Okay.
And I grew up with Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
Okay, so this is obviously more elaborate than any Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with the volume of colors. Like if you look at the picture, there's a background. It's not like Bugs Bunny where it's just a flat background. This has perspective and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing that bothered me was every one of these Digimonsters, they were all very, very different, and it was unexplainable.
Well, that's what I figured was a problem for you because I have watched the original cartoons and the first movie, and there's some movies in between that I haven't seen. So I knew what was going on with the Digivolutions when they evolve and stuff. And for you,
they changed on the fly.
Yeah, for you, I was like, he probably has
the thing that was
no
flying
idea.
in the air now all of a sudden was like a tank.
Yeah.
And then one thing was this huge, devastating monster, and it turned into like a cute little bunny rabbit, and it got rescued by something that was flying by.
They joined together. They DNA digivolved together. Two of them came to one.
Okay, now you have this idea that I feel as though I've grown out of it.
Yeah.
And you are right.
Yeah.
Right. I watched cartoons when I was a kid, but apparently there's adult value. You're a grown man and you enjoy this. So why is that?
Well, for Digimon specifically, there's a strong level of nostalgia. Like that was my childhood. Me and my friend had our little toy Digivices and we were playing in the street pretending it was real life and stuff. Like there's a layer of nostalgia. But animes are really popular, and just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it's not a good story, doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
That is interesting.
And then a lot of them can be made for adults, too. A lot of them are made for adults.
I'd like to see an adult one.
Yeah, definitely.
Not an adult one in that sense.
No.
I know what you're thinking.
No, for sure.
I have seen those.
There's definitely a bunch. And I'm not a big anime person. I'm more of an American cartoon person. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorites. That's an awesome cartoon that they're making into a live-action show on Netflix. And they made a live-action movie. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong ruined it. Ask any fan of that show, he ruined it. That's an anime, but technically it's an American cartoon.
Oh, so anime is really only if it comes from Japan?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I just thought it was any animated thing.
No, it's from Japan. Yeah.
What do you call it if it's from America?
I call it an American cartoon.
What do you call it if it's from India?
India.
It's a joke in
I'm
there,
just kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so there's adult ones.
It's that face. Everybody has that face. Like it seems like the same face that I've been seeing since Speed Racer.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see there's a problem with that, though. It's a cartoon. Well, how much can you change the way you draw a face? Unless you go hyper-realism, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But like Kanye West, a lot of his videos and music, he refers to an anime called Akira. And I've never seen it, but it's supposed to be really good. There's movies like Cowboy Bebop. That's supposed to be really good. I've seen that movie.
That sounds like something I would like. Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, it's about like a cop guy.
Send me the link.
It's like a futuristic cop who kind of doesn't care about people. He's kind of a dick. Smokes cigarettes. And I've seen one of those movies, and that was pretty good. But yeah, there's a lot of animes made for adults, and people love them.
Okay. Maybe I would.
We should do one in the future, for sure. The original movie's awesome. The original cartoons are awesome. There's a lot more depth to them. I hated this.
I mean,
0 out of 10. It ruined it for me, actually.
0 out of 10, huh?
0 out of 10. Thank you for watching The Real Generation Gap. This has been Digimon 02, the beginning of disappointment. My name is Shane Schuldmeyer.
I'm still Fred Satilli.
And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I'm out of my mind for hating this movie so much. If you're a Digimon fan, please explain to me what they were trying to do. I don't know. I'm totally lost and I'm upset. But until the next one, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys there.